Welcome to my world.
Hello, 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 my dear friends out there that are with us and all the others that are looking for the replay. You will find the replay then in YouTube/C/for channel and Jörg from Germany. So, hello there. Today I have a really cool edition because I have a guest coming from Ontario in Canada. It is a band I sometimes played more than one time, 3 times, 4 times or so in my radio show, Jörg's World. And here I have, I hope I pronounce it the right way, he is Logi or Logi, he will correct me then, from Mad Wet Sea. So let us have a look. And here we are. Hello. Hey,
Hey,
mate,
buddy.
how are
It's Logie. You got it right.
Logie? Okay. Whew. So,
How are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine. As usual, a bit nervous. A little bit nervous, but I think that's normal when I have such a high guest here in my show.
Nice. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I should be the one nervous. You're the most awesome person.
Oh, thank you. I can give it back to you. You're the star today.
Well, thank you.
So, what are you doing? Who the heck is Mad Wet Sea?
Well, Mad Wet Sea is a band. Me and my brothers. We play hard rock, some metal. We try not to play one genre. We like, I don't know, I guess more like the 70s style music where, one band doesn't play one type of music. They branch out and broaden. We kind of play whatever we feel like, but normally we stick to the hard rock and kind of metal kind of genre. We've put out 2 albums over the quarantine. Last year we put out a concept EP called The Siren's Call. Basically follows someone like Odysseus sailing off to war, passing the isle where the sirens live. That if you listen to their song, they will steer you into the rocks and kill you and eat you. And so the whole purpose is to stay alive. And then after that, we got right to work. Last year, watching everything going on with our neighbor country and the whole world, Champion the Abyss was born. So we came up with those 7 songs, all about freedom and equality and a little tinge of war in there as well.
Yeah. I know that song, or a handful of that songs, and I must say it's not the usual. So that's the keyword, quality. It's not the usual thing I get sent by the bands. It's more rough and unpolished, and that's the thing you also promote.
Yeah, we like the unpolished sound because a lot of bands now, and I'm not saying all of them do, but a lot of bands use click tracks live. They use auto-tune. A lot of what you hear isn't what you hear. So when we record, we try to do one take. So if we screw it up, delete, start again.
Okay.
There's no cutting and patching. It's all get her done, do it right. And you flub up, miss one note, that's rock and roll. We'll keep that in there. I'm sure you listen to those songs, you're bound to hear a mistake here or there. So, but that's what we think. That's where the magic of music is. It's not in perfection. It's in the overall experience.
Yeah, I've seen a time ago. I've seen a video by not Judas Priest. Sorry, made by Iron Maiden. And you can see them working in the studio together. Each of them has a glass cabin where he's sitting in, and they are playing the songs together. And I really think that gives the necessary dynamic you need to make rock music living and pumping. In its best way.
Well, it's very organic that way, right? When everybody's feeding off each other, then it's more flowy than punch me in and punch me out kind of deal.
Yeah. And how do you record with your brothers?
So normally what we'll do is we'll get the bass track down and get the groove feeling right, and then we'll go back and lay down all the individual tracks. But like I said, it's not cut in, cut out. It's if you don't play it right the first time, it's start over, play it right. You can't punch in and punch out in a live show, so you should be able to do it right recording, right?
That's right. Yeah, that's absolutely right. So how do I have to imagine that? you are all sitting in one room. Everyone is mic'd, and
Yep.
then you start rocking. And
That's
don't
it.
you have problems that you have the right bell massively on the guitar tracks or something? So
Mhm.
the
Yep, the
keyboard
cabs, we've
overspeaking.
got isolation cabs, so
Okay.
boxes, so the cabs are all off, and that way you can crank these guys up and get them,
Mhm.
to where they like to be, and then without getting calls from the neighbors too.
Okay. Yeah, I'm also using one of those this side.
Mhm.
The Jet City
Mhm.
isolated cabinet, and it's a pretty good idea, really. Do you use that for live playing also?
Nope, live playing, it's loud as best.
Yes, I see. With the amp setting on 11.
Oh yeah, that's the only way to rock and roll there.
That's important. I can hear John Renard from Pluto Radio in my ear saying, "That's rock and roll, baby."
Nice. That is rock and roll. You go up and see
Absolutely.
Zeppelin and the Stones, and that's all on 10.
Yeah, yeah.
It would have been
And
just crushing to see Deep Purple because Richie played the 200-watt Marshall Majors, right? So
wow. I had one time the chance to play a plexi with the 100-watt plexi, and no chance to get it over 9 o'clock.
oh yeah, that's the 800 here. The after like 3, it's like things are shaking on the wall, and it's only a 50-watt. So
I see. Yeah, that things are unbelievable, and the tendency goes to very much smaller amps. So I have the Bugera 100-watt amp. I never will use it again, and I also bought 2 5-watt amps to make a stereo sound with a 1960 cabinet and I see that the 5-watt amps are really okay for playing live on the stage. You have
nice.
the mic and you have the PA, so
Yep.
I'm not sure if it's needed.
Well, that's what when I played in another band, I used this. I built this. This is a 18-watt Marshall based on an old Super Lead. So
Okay.
that 18 watts, you can crank it right up and not crush everybody.
And so it seems you are the lead guitar player.
I am the rhythm guitarist and singer. I let Surfer, our brother, he lives in Ottawa. He plays lead guitar for us.
Okay.
He's the shred guy. I'm just the riff guy.
Okay. Then you have more time to drink during the show.
Yeah.
Like Malcolm once said, "Hey, Malcolm, Mr. Young from ICDC.
ACDC, yeah.
Malcolm, why don't you play solo parts? It stops me from drinking."
That's right.
That's an argument. Okay.
Well, even Max Cavalera from Soulfly and Cavalera Experience and Sepultura, he's the same way, right? He doesn't play lead, so his guitar is only 5 strings.
If that's enough, it's okay.
He's like, I don't play leads. I don't need that other string. So
Yes. And who was the guy with the 1 string on the bass guitar? Do you remember?
I
There
remember
was
that
one guy.
Yeah, I don't remember who that was. No.
That was a hard rock band, a metal band. I guess it's around 15, 20 years ago or so. No, I don't need more strings. 1 string is enough.
1 string's enough. Why not? Well, even AC/DC could probably get away with just 2 strings.
Okay. Depends on what strings.
Yeah. Van Halen, like, how often is it just do, right?
Yeah. Okay. You may be right. Yeah. I see. So for today, I guess you plan to play a little bit with your guitar, and I've seen it on Twitter. There was a little accident on the guitar.
Yeah, so I got it out. I'm actually borrowing this guitar but I got it out of the case. It's been in my guitar cabinet over there for about a year. Open up the case, and half the saddle had just sheared right off. And if you look on my Twitter page, just at MadWetSea, you'll see the picture, and it was a little heartbreaking. But we managed to get over to a local store, Arden's Music, and they had they just happened to have a saddle in place. So got home and scraped her down and got her in and tuned her up, and she's ready to go.
Okay. So when you say it's ready to go, are you also ready to go?
For you, I can be ready to go.
Oh, you touch my heart.
Oh, anything for you, buddy.
Then I leave you be for a little bit and send you to not pressing remote. Okay, I know I'm the guy on the button, but I won't press remote. I will put you into a solo layout, and hey, come on, play a song.
Nice. So this song is from Champion the Abyss. This is called Marching As to War, and we're gonna do the abridged version. We're not gonna play the intro, and we're gonna play not the solo. Death, fear spread before me, cries litter, the landslide broken, bodies strewn everywhere, ramparts shattered with the tides of soldiers, martyrs defending dirt, defenses fall like ashes, homes burnt to dust, their leaders hung on crosses of warriors, head to glory, join me or die against me. Stand when I tell you die, if I let you march, as to war this world needs us now, so stand when I tell you die, when I let you march, as to war we'll make this world our own. Flesh is for mortals, join me in eternity. Fear is just weakness, mercy is for the dead, so join me. Together we'll claim this land. Stand when I tell you die, when I let you march, as to war this world needs us now, so stand when I tell you die, if I let you march, as to war we'll make this world our own. Stand when I tell you die, when I let you march, as to war we'll make this world our own. When I tell you die, if I let you march, as to war we'll make this world our own.
Cool.
So Suter
Pretty
comes
cool.
in and plays a blistering lead, and it actually starts in with an acoustic too. Just But with the heaviness of the guitars, it's easy just to skip that part. When we started writing Champion the Abyss, I was actually listening to a lot of Megadeth and Metallica. And really the inspiration behind this song came from Sad But True.
Okay.
Just with the down tune, but actually it's not down tuned. What I wanted to do was do something different. So it's actually open G. I'm playing in open G. So the top strings are actually down a step with everything else only down half a step. So we were talking earlier about slide. So you can play some slide if you wanted. So
yeah, but you don't because you are the rhythm guitar player.
I'm the rhythm guitar. So in this case, I don't. I leave that up for Surther.
Okay. And that would have been my next question. How does your creative process work? Do you have an idea, or do you have the thread of the Odysseus saga or something?
So normally what will happen is if I pick up a guitar and a riff comes to me that I like, I'll work with it, I'll mold it, and then because I'm not going to say I have a goldfish memory, but some days it's not the best.
Hello, Dory.
I get out my exactly Dory. I get out my phone and record it. But I don't do audio. I do video because sometimes how you play it is what makes the song. So I record how I play it, and then the versions on how I like it, and then what I'll do before I bring it to the band will be I'll set up a click track, or not a click track, a basic drum track with GarageBand. And then I'll mess around with it. If I like this or I like that, I'll record the parts, and then I'll cut and move them around a bit. So I'm like, okay, that'll work. And then I'll play that a bit. And then
so
going back to
kind of pre-production a little bit.
Kind of make the parts work and make sure they all work together. And then I'll take that, and from there is where the lyrics come from. But really, it's hard. I don't always know where the lyrics are coming from until I start.
Yes. So you find it in the rehearsal room or during the pre-production?
Mostly pre-production. I'll bring the songs completed to the band.
Okay.
So half of the Siren's Call I wrote in the library a couple blocks away. I just sat down, and next thing I knew, I had 3 songs written. So I see you're a very handsome guy. You go into the band, you have your pre-production, and you say, hey boys, you can do whatever you want, as long as you do what I say. That's correct? Yep. That's right.
Okay. And the other band members, are they are only putting their parts in place, or do they have a chance to be a part of the creative process?
So Igor and Carrie, so my brother's bass and drums, for the most part, by the time I've done pre-production, I've kind of got how I want the bass and drums to sound. So when it comes time for recording, they can stray a little bit if they want, but they know what I want. When it comes to lead guitar, Surther, he has full, that's him. I want him to shred like mad.
The hell out of it.
Now, that said, Surther has helped arrange a few songs. Like he helped My Final Vow. That was him. With the build-up, we made it so that there was tension. And if you've ever heard the song, how it just builds, and man, he killed that solo. That's probably one of my favorite solos he did.
Oh, okay.
And that song is actually on our first. It's only digitally. There's only 3 songs: My Final Vow, Smile, and The Truth.
Mhm.
If you get the CD, it's also got a version of Love is a Battlefield by Pat Benatar.
Oh, okay.
But that's not in production anymore. But yeah, Surtur will help. He'll throw in some ideas, key changes even. But yeah, that guy, he really I find he really compliments my playing, and that I love him. He's a brother.
Yeah, I'll take the proof next week in my radio show, and I guess I will have that song you just played as the final song of the show for
Nice.
next week.
Well, the thing about that, I said I didn't play lead, but that is the only song I played lead on this album.
Okay.
I just he was working on the rest, and I'm like, I've got a good idea, and I ran with it. So
Okay.
it's you can tell because all the other ones are shreddy and awesome, and then you've got this one. And I'm not saying it's not bad, but my lead
Really
playing
not.
definitely isn't up to Surtur's standard.
Yeah. So you can see it's not that important to shred as hell. Sometimes it is one perfect note you have to hit to give it a meaning and a feeling, and so.
Yeah. That's what lots of those blues guys will tell you, and even some of the old hard rock guys will tell you that one note can be more powerful than a million notes.
Yeah.
And going back to what I was saying, too polished, like that's something that a lot of current hard rock bands could probably, I love shredding and I love the, but it's hearing some soulful songs too, solos. That's always good too.
Yeah, it's good to have a variety of songs, of styles, of different music.
Yep.
And when you're going on stage, I think in the last time it didn't work for you, for the whole world it didn't work. So do we have anything in sight for playing live in the nearer future?
Well, Ontario just we'll call it reopened. So we've been on essentially house arrest. All the businesses have been closed except for online shopping or pickup at the storefront. The restaurants have all been closed except for you can order takeout. So today's Sunday. Friday we open back up, so stores are open. You're only allowed a few people in. Restaurants are open for patios, but they're not. The government is still saying no. Socializing is a bad word, but no socializing. You're not allowed groups of people. You're still only supposed to be just your household, at least for another 21 days, in which case we'll go into step 1, where they're saying that we'll be allowed to have 10 people in a group together, outside, not inside though. So really there's no sign of the bars opening to be able to play just yet. So.
Yeah, how is it over there? Here in Germany, the summertime is starting now, and the school vacations are starting, and I think we'll have a lot of smaller kind of concerts here in as an open air. So I think that should be possible in Canada too in the next.
I would think so. That's a great idea. Everybody's gone indoor. It's nice to be able to get outdoors and play outdoors. I know here in Kingston we've got this thing called FebFest where there's skating and snow sculptures and all this cool stuff downtown in February. And they normally got bands that play, and I've been lucky enough to play twice. And both times it was like minus 25, minus 30 degrees Celsius. So it was cold. But there's nothing.
You should rock hotter then.
Well, and that's the thing. The drummer at the time was the kind of guy that he sweats like mad. So he played in shorts and socks, and just like I turned around going, dude, how are you doing this? So, but there's nothing quite like playing outside. I'll say that.
So you also had a break during the COVID pandemic thing and so on. Did you think about making a handful of videos for us?
We thought about it. We try to do everything in-house. So we did put Marching Ass to War on YouTube. It's just essentially a couple pictures. With the uncertainty of how the music scene's going, we don't want to put a whole lot of cash into a music video yet. Pay somebody to do it. And I know guitars. I don't know cameras, so I'm not really a videographer. So
yeah, it's not that hard. You can see we have a good connection here using your whatever you use over there. I don't know. It's a tablet or
it's just a tablet. Yeah.
Yeah, you can use that. You can make some shots of the colleagues. You only need a Adobe Premiere in the light version, and you're done. So it's not that effort to do.
Nice. Well, we thought about doing lyric vids. We try to be social on Twitter. So we talked to a few bands. One of our favorite bands is Hollowed Sky. And they've been doing. I think. Have you played them? Maybe.
I think yeah. I think there was Hollowed Sky. Yeah. I had them.
They've been their last album. They've been doing a lyric video. I think a week. So that's something that we thought about doing too. At the same time, I kind of. Eager claims it's his band. I kind of run the show. I like. There's two things I like. I like everybody knowing the lyrics, but at the same time, old school wise, I like it when you had to figure out the lyrics yourself and make them mean something to you. So
yeah,
that's why we haven't fully gone that way. Because I'm still on the fence if I want to give everyone the lyrics.
Yeah, in every video, you can deliver the lyrics too. Additionally. But don't you think it would be much more personal to have, maybe not to have the highest video quality, but to have a few pictures out of the rehearsal room, to see the band, to see your brothers, to have a little bit of a personal contact to the people.
Personal contact, yeah. That's a good point. That's something we should talk about as a band. I'll get them to send some pictures and we'll do some stuff.
We'd love it. Really, we would love it.
I know we all can't wait to be in the same room together so that we can crank these guys up and get out and actually play some shows and get you hopefully some performance videos.
Yeah, to be honest, I think it will be next year. We'll have to wait until next year. Then the worst phase will be over, I hope.
Hopefully.
Crossing fingers. But until then, you have enough time to make some videos for us.
And write another album. We've already started. Yeah. We've got pre-production rolling on 2 songs, actually. So
yeah, do your best.
Well, that's the plan. So get them going, and hopefully I find the Siren's Call, I think, was 6 songs. That kind of works. Champion the Abyss was 7. I think that kind of works. It's funny. I was thinking about this the other day. When you go back to like the 50s and the 60s, music was really single to single. There were no real albums. And then we became album oriented, right? And now we're finding the music business is stalling. We'll go with stalling. But you find a lot of these, what's actually happening, and the people that are making money are the pop stars that are really focusing on singles, not albums, right? So I think that's what maybe, with nobody really buying albums anymore, and I'm not going to generalize that and say nobody. I prefer to buy a CD. I would rather buy a CD than a digital. Yeah. I am old school. I want to see it. I want to look at it. I want to see the liner notes. But really, the world is going that short attention spans. They just want one song at a time. So really, maybe we won't do another album. Maybe we'll just do a single a month, maybe heading out. So
Yeah, I see that this process is, I think, the major label force. They are pumping a lot of money into one production, so it will be spread over all the royalty radio stations, so the major radio stations. And a few months ago, I started to make an album play in my radio show because I'm really sad about that you can't get more of an artist. I really want to have an album like it was 20 years before, lying on the floor, having a look into the vinyl albums of Iron Maiden or of Judas Priest and all the great rock bands, figuring out what is the message of the songs. And on every album there is a couple of songs in a row, and somebody is thinking about the sword, about the intros, about the message of an whole album. And I think it's so important to make albums to show what an artist really thinks, and what he can do and what he's able to do,
and bring in an idea, right?
Yeah.
That's
absolutely.
what when we wrote the Sirens Call, I love, like, The Dark Side of the Moon is one of my favorite albums. The Wall, another great album. There's a band in the States called Starset that their first album was a concept album, and I think their second one was too.
Never heard of.
But I don't remember for sure. But that stuff, like even The Sword, I don't know if you've heard of The Sword. They're like a sludge kind of hard rock metal band. They do concept albums, and that's really, when I started writing that album, the things weren't linear, and then it was almost like I went, hey, all these songs kind of, if I just put them in order, it tells a story. And then I took, if you listen to it, I took a page from Pink Floyd where The Wall, where he says, isn't this how we came in? And that's how the album starts and ends, right? So it's meant to be cyclical, and that's how I wanted that to be, because everybody, no matter what they're going through, everybody has their own battles that they're going through. So I really wanted it to be, the battle could be whatever it is you're going through. And just that you can get through it, and just when you get through it again, it loops around and you're going through it again. So the Sirens Call starts with, you can hear the waves, the water, and then I've got Morse code with a warning. There's a warning there that says, make sure you know what you're doing, turn around. And then the album goes through, and then the waves come back up with, I hope you listen to the warning. And then the waves fade out, and then the waves fade back in, and hey, did you hear the warning? But again, I don't have the brain power Roger Waters has. So Champion the Abyss was supposed to be, the original plan was that was going to be a concept album too, but
you did sing better.
I did sing better. I will give you that. I'll go back, and I said unpolished, and I will 150% say that Sun Goes Down really should have had auto-tune, because my singing is terrible on that song.
Okay. Sad but true, maybe.
It is sad but true. I tried, but like you said, the singing on this album is a lot better. The production got a little bit better, but again, we're trying to stay. We love listening to all those bands, but we just don't. I don't see the need to spend like $50,000 on an album. to make it sound spectacular. The song should really do the work, not the production.
I think there's a break-even point of being on an let me tell it, industrial level. From the sound. The mix has to be good. It has to have an cool stereo panorama. The voice has to sit on the music and so on. And a lot of independent bands does not care about that, and that's not playable in radio. So you have to have that level to come through. And I like the concept of being rough and being straight. Absolutely. But please don't stop making albums or making concept albums, because think we are independent musicians. We can do that. We are allowed to do that.
That's right. Yep.
Really. That's the point.
Yep. And yeah, well, we'll keep making albums, but the future's unwritten, right? We'll steal from Doc Brown from Back to the Future. The future's unwritten.
The future will be bright.
Today
I had a Zoom call to a friend in New Zealand, and he is 10 hours ahead from us, and he always says, "Oh, I can see your future will be bright."
Nice.
That's so cool.
That's what we need, right? So you just gotta remember that what happens today might affect tomorrow, but there's no need to dwell on it.
Yeah. We're living now and today, and all those last word to the single play. We don't have the urge to publish singles because we don't have the money to put $500,000 in one song to make it famous. And B, as I told you, we are independent. We can do what you want.
Do what we want. But I'm just gonna tie this in here too. You said we don't have a lot of money. There's another band here from Ontario called 12 Years After, or 12 Years Today, I think. They're actually going through a battle. So I'm sure you've done this too. The only way to get your music online now is to go through a distributor, CD Baby, DistroKid, stuff like that. So when you pay for them, they're supposed to double check to make sure you aren't stealing somebody else's copyright. Make sure they're all your songs before they get published.
Absolutely.
So what happened is, and I don't know the specifics, but somebody has laid a copyright claim on them after their distributor vetted all this stuff, and Spotify's pulled all their songs.
Yeah,
Which isn't right, and they don't have it's not fair to the indie musicians like us, because we don't have the money to back this up to be able to legally go at them and go, dude, WTF. So they're struggling now to get Spotify to correct this, to get their music back. But I do know that a few other bands have taken this as a death knell and just said, well, if that's how Spotify is going to treat bands, then we'll just take our music elsewhere. And they've pulled the plug and pulled their music from Spotify to show solidarity for them. So,
yeah, Spotify is the biggest platform out there. And from 10 euros they get in for the monthly fee for a Spotify account, the artists are paid 3 euros. All artists overall. And that's not okay. That's absolutely not okay. I can't tell it often enough, for one play on Spotify, we earn 0.43 cent. And that's really not much. So when you want to earn 3 euros on, or 3.50 or something on Spotify, you need 1,000 plays.
Yep.
And I wish you all the luck to get 1,000 plays each month.
That'd be nice, but it's definitely it's a broken system, unfortunately.
Absolutely, yeah.
But there's not
But
much
hey,
we can do.
we are independent.
We're independent, and we can do what we want.
We
And
are
luckily-
free to play for nothing. Yes.
That's right. and luckily, there's other sites. Bandcamp is another great one that at least you get your money. They take a small share, but it's your money. So it's nice that you have to look for the good sometimes.
Yeah. It's a hard way. It's a hard struggle. It never was easy in the music business. It never was easy. But I
To
see
quote
that
Bon Scott, it's a long way to the top if you want to rock and
if
roll.
you want to rock and roll, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So it depends on your fans if they are willing to pay a few cents for your music, or if they don't.
Mm-hmm.
That's the question. To be or not to be? That is the question.
That is the question. Well, and we try to, so the days that Bandcamp waives their fees, those are the days that we take all our sales and send them to charity.
Yeah, that's
So-
the way.
If you're looking to buy one of our albums, wait to the next Bandcamp day where they waive their fees, and so that we can support some charities here in Kingston.
Okay, I hope here in the video stream and in the replay you heard what he told us. Make a notice and do that.
Well, it's madwetsea.bandcamp.com.
Yeah, that would be the next question, but first I would love to hear another song from you.
We can do that, sir. So next we're going to play a song. This is off our first EP called Freedom. The song is called The Truth. I'm going to be honest, it's hell on my vocals, so but it's one of the easiest ones to play on the acoustic, so bear with me. Ready?
Ready, go!
When sour words leave your bitter mouth, the only way to look is for the way out. You build yourself up by tearing others down, but how will you feel when no one wants to be around? Have you gained what you set out to find? Tell me, is it better than what you left behind? The truth will come around to sting you. Like that. Choices you made, regret cannot undo. Life is a bitter pill we all have to swallow. Stomach what you can, do better tomorrow. You may be seeking some sort of truth, but you're scarred on the backs of the ones that never wanted to turn on you. There's always different points of view. It just might be too late to see what I've been trying to tell you. The truth will come around to sting you. Try.
Cool.
Well,
Cool, Dory.
nice. Yep.
Good work.
Forgetting the lyrics. But it goes back to what you were saying too, being able to play in the studio a bit. We like effects a little bit. Like that song ends with echo left and ping pong left and right. It sounds like it's on the radio. We like that stuff. There's a couple solos. Trying to think which one it is, but we like to pan them so it sounds like it's moving,
Like a wave.
like a wave. Yep. Like it's going back the 70s. It's kind of how we like to record, because that time they were really experimenting with sounds and how things worked. And there's stuff, I'll tell you, we recorded stuff and I'm like, no, I don't like that, delete it. And I'll spend an hour trying to make something work and no, delete it. And then just find something that really works. And I'm like, that's it. That's what we want. Don't touch it. Keep it.
Yeah. Nail it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with experimenting with sounds or with sounds of the 70s. Nothing wrong with it.
No.
Absolutely.
And that's, I like messing around with that stuff. It just, some of that stuff sounds really cool, and it's nice to hear it, you know. And I just love that swirly when it moves slowly, not too
psychedelic
fast, but
things. Yeah.
yeah. Like listening to, like, I would love at some point to have a Leslie cabinet. I love the way those sound. Like when you listen to old Pink Floyd records and you hear that, especially in is it Us and Them, when he's playing that slow picking part and you hear it whooshing. Even James Gang, I'm a big Joe Walsh fan, and he loved that stuff back in the 70s. I just love the way that stuff sounds. My back couldn't take, moving that 400-pound speaker cabinet to and from gigs. But here in the studio would be great.
But you could do a trick for a live concert. Some time ago, I wanted a swirly sound on the clean guitar in my in my blues songs on the stage, and I found out that a 1960 cabinet can also work in stereo. So I got a solution with 2 amps, and I bought that little electro harmonics Leslie thing.
Nice.
And that's working really cool. It's around $200 or so, and you can have that rotary effect with swelling speed and decreasing speed. It's a really cool thing. Maybe you should have a look.
I'll
for
look
that.
into that. I didn't know. I didn't know Electro Harmonics had one. I do know there've been a couple other ones out there, but again, it's one of those things that you get into the metal world and there's not a whole lot of use for a Leslie. So
yeah. I had a look. It's a Lester G.
Lester G.
That's the name of the game.
Nice.
And it's really
cool.
cool.
I used to have I had a chorus pedal. Don't remember
the Rocktron Tsunami.
Rocktron, that's what it was. The deep blue. And I would always, I love the setting where you get it, you set the speed on max and like flutter on max, and it warbled in this beautiful way that was just, I love that sound.
Yeah.
But it was like this big though, so it took up way too much space on my pedal board. I
have the red one. I love the sound of that thing, but it's too large to transport it with a footboard. So sorry, but Rocktron, they did great things in chorus pedals. Absolutely.
Yep. Oh yeah, that deep blue was great. The one thing I did find, there's a trim pot inside. It quit working on me, and I couldn't figure out what the deal was. But there was a trim pot that adjusted the bias of the voltage, and if it moved any little bit, the pedal wouldn't work. You'd have clean signal all the time, pedal on, pedal off, unaffected. So it took me a while to figure out. I bought a couple chips and replaced the chips, thinking the chip fried, and then messed around with that and found all of a sudden it was working. So yeah, look for your trim pots and your pedals if it stops working, and just check the bias, because it could have just been that you set it down too hard and the bias flipped.
Yeah, I do. And I also did a little modification on my pedal, because I started using a rack solution with a preamp with a Marshall 2x50 watt amplifier thing and so on. And I wanted to switch the Rocktron via MIDI. And so I had the pedal open. I did a few external jacks in there to make it MIDI switchable, and it worked.
Nice.
Okay. So
Pretty nice.
now I'm still, and I'm back again playing with analog footboards. So it wasn't worth all the work, but here I am.
Music is art, right? So what we had, I played with a band where I had 36 by 18 pedal board full of pedals, because in that band I was playing lead, so I needed everything: flanger, chorus, a couple different dirts. I had my wah. I needed delay, so I needed to be able to cover everything. And now with this band, and I'm playing in another cover band too. In that band, I'm just playing rhythm guitar too, because that band, Jerry, is our lead guitarist, and that guy can play really great too. I just need to I'm just there to fill in the sound. So I'm okay with that. I need to be able to have a couple of different types of dirt, some wah if I need. I've got a little chorus pedal if I need a little shimmer. Other than that, I am the Brad Whitford. I am just there to make the cake so that Joe Perry can show up and ice it.
To fill the gap.
That's right.
Yeah, and when you have all the pedals on this planet, you will find out that one is missing.
Yep.
Every time.
Or sometimes it's one pedal can take them all out. We did a gig about 10 years ago, and I stepped off my wah-wah pedal to play a lead, and something happened that I managed to hit the power cable, and I jerked the power cable out, and it went dead, right? But it was out just enough that it wasn't making contact,
that you couldn't see
in
it.
enough that I couldn't see it. So I spent the entire solo trying to figure out what was going on while the rest of the band played, and then gave up. And then let them finish the song. I just sang. And then at the end of the song, spent the next couple minutes, then went, "Hey, idiot, I just got to check the power cable."
And that I'm sure that was a good moment to listen to your comrades to figure out what they are playing.
That's right. And then, of course, it was me going, "Yeah, you guys sound great." And they're going, "Dude, what are you doing? You're supposed to be playing the solo."
Yeah, shit happens. It's Murphy's Law.
It always seems to happen when you don't expect it. Take for advantage.
The thing with the bridge. Exactly. Yeah, Logi, have so much thanks for staying here with me, for doing the interview. I'm absolutely sure we'll have a good handful of views on YouTube then in the replay. So anything's your message?
I would like to say thank you for having me. This has been great, and I love talking to you, and I really appreciate you for playing our music.
You're welcome.
It's guys like you that help the indie bands, because without guys like you, indie bands don't unfortunately get anywhere, because terrestrial radio is unfortunately pay to play, and the indie bands can't afford to pay to play. So we thank guys like you. So thank you.
Namaste.
Namaste.
So maybe you want to tell us again where we can find your music, and maybe you can promise to make a video.
Just for you, buddy. I'll try to make a video.
Okay. So on Spotify, we look for Mad Wet Sea.
So we're on, through our distributor, we're on all the streaming platforms, Deezer, Apple Music. You can find us on Google. Actually, Amazon. I don't think Google has a music anymore. But we're on Spotify, Tidal. We haven't allowed them to put it on TikTok. So by all means, make some TikTok videos. If you want to buy our music, the best place is at Bandcamp. And once again, that's madwetsea.bandcamp.com. Each of the albums, when you click on there, if you're old school like me, there's a link where you can buy a CD. Mm-hmm. And then on our YouTube, but we don't have 100 subscribers yet, so it's a long username. It's not Mad Wet Sea yet. But if you find our Mad Wet Sea channel, there's links there to Bandcamp, to the place. We use Kanaki for our CDs, so you can find a link to go buy a CD as well.
Okay. And I'll tell it again in the radio show this week. And so we'll see what will happen.
Awesome, buddy. Thank you so much for playing our music.
Would you like to close the show with a song? Maybe? Sure. Do we have one more?
I got one more. This song, the song that I'll play is actually the first one I wrote for Champion the Abyss. And to be quite honest, as a lyricist, as a musician, as a storyteller, you take inspiration from everything. And I'm sure you know that.
Absolutely, yeah.
I was watching Batman a lot. And that's essentially where this song came from. Batman was the inspiration.
Okay. I did a similar thing. That song is called Gotham City.
Oh, yeah? Nice.
So I let you play. And when you finish, I will also finish the show. Please stay here. We'll have a few words after that. So this was Mad Wet Sea. Please have a look at my radio show next to all weeks, every time running on 5 radio stations. And what should I say? Have a look for Jørg's World and Jørg's World aLive. Next week, here on the Sunday, we'll have a German saxophone player and singer, a female saxophone player and singer. She's famous here in Germany, and the whole thing will be in German language. And yeah, Logi, have so many thanks for staying here, and people out there, have fun with Logi playing the last song for today.
Well, thanks again for having me. And I would say definitely tune in to Jørg's show. Jørg has great music, and I've found so many great bands by listening to his show. So definitely, there's so much good music in the indie world. I would definitely recommend tuning into Jørg's World.
Thank you, and see you later, alligator.
So this is our last song. This song is called Nightfall. Again, based on Batman. Who's gonna save you now from demons on the prowl? I watch the streets at night. With evil I will fight. Come nightfall, things will never be the same. Watching as your evil goes up in flame. Come nightfall, just wait and see. My prey I'll tease until you please. You can't escape, you cannot hide. In fear you'll wait undignified. Come nightfall, I'll tell you now. This crime and filth we can't allow. So here and now I'll take to the streets to save you all from these great beasts. Fly through the night with ease to clean, adjust, and sleaze. If you hear me, it's too late. Time's up on your fate. Come nightfall, things will never be the same. Watching as your ego goes up in flame. Up in flame. Come nightfall, just wait and see. My prey I'll tease until you bleed. You can't escape, you cannot hide. In fear I'll wait undignified. Come nightfall, I'll tell you now. This crime and filth we can't allow. So here and now I'll take to the streets to save you all from these great beasts. Come nightfall, I'll tell you now. This crime and filth we can't allow. You can't escape, you cannot hide. In fear you'll wait undignified. Come nightfall, just wait and see. My prey I'll tease until you bleed. So here and now I'll take to the streets to save you all from these great beasts. There we go.